Good morning. Today on Spotlight, a look at funding for K-12 education in Michigan, making Southeast Michigan a military defense production mecca for America, and tackling some of the biggest, thorniest issues facing the residents of Macomb County. My guest, Robert McCaan, Executive Director of the K-12 Alliance of Michigan, and Mark A. Hackel, Macomb County Executive. It's Sunday, September the 7th. I'm Chuck Stokes, and this is Spotlight. Is what we're looking at right now in Lansing as it relates to K-12 education, is it an education problem, a policy problem, a funding problem, or a political problem, or all the above?
There's probably a mix of all of the above in there somewhere, but certainly we're seeing serious political problems harming the state of public education here in Michigan right now. We have lawmakers more than willing to blow past budget deadlines. And let's remember, they have a deadline for themselves of July 1st to pass a school budget that they just ignored completely. And here we sit in September and they still haven't gotten the job done. And so, yeah, we have a serious problem of a lack of prioritization, I would say, within the Capitol to ensure that our schools and our students are ultimately given the resources that they need and deserve to succeed.
So, Executive Director McCaan, would it be fair to say that this is a manufactured problem, or is that too harsh?
No, I think it's 100% correct. There's budgets on the table that could be negotiated, put some fine details together, and probably passed within a day if they chose to do so. But there clearly is not a desire to do that, at least by some of the parties involved here in Lansing. And that's ultimately what's so frustrating about this is that, this is an entirely manufactured crisis. This could and should have been a process that started in earnest back in February, March, where they could have been negotiating real in earnest the details that ultimately our schools need to know to function properly. And yet we sit here in September and the latest news we had yesterday is they really haven't even started to negotiate yet. And so every school is sitting there right now with their hands up in the air going, we're doing our best to do what's right for our kids, but we don't have the slightest idea what our funding levels are for this year, and that's not good for anybody.
All right, let's take each house separately. The leadership of the Michigan House will say to you, we've passed the budget, what's the problem? And what's wrong with this budget, and why can't education work with this budget? Because we think it can.
Well, there's two major problems with the budget that we've seen them pass, and one is that it's structurally imbalanced. There's numbers that just simply don't add up in it. But number two, they make some wholesale changes to how we fund public education in Michigan. I don't mean some details here and there that are always tweaked year to year, but they throw out the large part of our funding model and just simply lump all that money together into a one-size-fits-all formula that be happy to have a discussion with them about are there pros and what are those pros to doing a model like that. But we have to have that conversation again in January, in February, so that we can plan for the upcoming year using that new formula. Again, we're happy to have that type of conversation with the House leadership, but not now. We need a budget now that works for our schools.
And let's talk about the Senate. How do you view what they have done? And some of their critics will say, yeah, what you've done is put everything that we feel students don't necessarily need into the budget, and we want to be able to kind of streamline this, and you can't have everything.
The Senate budget that has been passed has a lot of good in it. There's certainly some things that we think could be tweaked and worked on, and we've had those conversations with them, and we're going to continue having those types of conversations with them. But there is a lot of good in it. There's a lot of support for things like special education for at-risk students, for English language learning, for literacy programs. Those are the things we know work in schools, that those additional one-on-one type support programs that students need right now to get caught back up with their peers in many cases. And so the Senate budget does represent a lot of those shared goals that educators have for our budget. And we appreciate that they've moved that forward, and we want to continue having conversations with them about getting that, getting real progress around a budget that at least incorporates some of those ideals.
All right, we need to take a quick little break. When we come back, I want to talk about the hard code reality of what's happening in our schools right now as a result of Lansing not having reached the budget yet. We'll be right back. Stay with us. And welcome back to Spotlight. We're talking to Robert McCaan. He's Executive Director of the K-12 Alliance of Michigan. Give us some reality of the fact that they've already missed the July 1 deadline. We're coming up on the October 1st deadline, which is a constitutional deadline. If we don't have a budget by then unlike the federal government, the state government shuts down. What has that done to our local schools as of right now in terms of layoffs and other things that you are having to make hard decisions on?
So the reality already in every school district across the state is that they've had to reopen their doors to students without any funding certainty, which means that over the summer, superintendents, administrators, school board members have worked together to put a plan together, but it's a plan that's fairly conservative in terms of filling positions, in terms of signing new contracts with various types of support vendors, things like that. And so that means the services that many districts are offering students this year are scaled back because districts don't know what they can afford this year because the legislature has failed to pass a budget. And that means, there are layoffs that have happened in schools. That means there are positions that are still unfilled. And those are often the positions that most unfortunately directly support student support, like reading coaches, tutors, but it's also impacting positions like security staff. It's also impacting programs like the free breakfast and lunch programs that schools provide. So there are very real consequences to this legislative failure here in Lansing that are already taking place. And the reality is, as we get closer to that October 1st deadline, and even if we go past that deadline, those consequences are going to get even more severe. If there is a risk of state funding not even coming to schools in October when they're supposed to get their next state aid payment, the money that schools use to pay their staff, pay for programs, things like that, then we have serious consequences where districts are either going to have to dip into their fund balances that they have, which has repercussions to that. We might even have districts that have to go borrow money from the bank to make payroll because the state funding isn't coming.
And what do you say to critics who say, we've been throwing money at the problem for years and maybe even decades, but we look at the test results, whether it's reading, math, other things, and we compare Michigan to other states, and we're slipping, we're not becoming a top 10 state. Money isn't solving the problem that we need to solve, and therefore we've got to look at this a different way.
The reality is that if you look at Michigan's school funding over the last 10, 20, 30 years even, we aren't throwing money at public education. In fact, we are underfunding public education by billions of dollars every single year. Even if you just look at the inflationary increase that schools have to face, whether that's increased costs of building supplies, of food, of other types of services, or just actual labor increase costs. Our costs in our schools have skyrocketed in the last 5 years, even just due to inflation, and state funding hasn't come close to keeping up with that level. Our state funding increases have been about 1, 2% every year when inflation is at 4, 5, 6%. If you think our reading scores aren't good enough, and I would agree with that, they are not. The things we know that will improve those scores are the very positions we can't fill right now because the legislature will not pass a budget. And so, again, I disagree with the core of the argument that we're throwing money at schools, but I also fundamentally point a finger right back at the Capitol and say, then you need to do your jobs and get us the people and resources we need to help these kids.
From a political perspective, are we making this a bigger problem by one, trying to deal with education funding, but at the same time trying to also tie bar it, at least politically, into road funding?
100%. The only reason you would be needing or wanting to tie the school budget to a road funding plan is because you're trying to use school funding to pay for it. And we fundamentally believe that is wrong. We believe that the people of Michigan believe that is wrong. In fact, recent polling in the state asked the voters that very question, and 89% of voters, find me anything that 89% of voters agree on right now, but 89% of voters oppose the idea of using a single dollar of school aid money to support a new road funding plan. And yet that's exactly what we're seeing lawmakers try to do right now. And that's part of the reason that they are holding the school budget hostage, is that they want to dip into that school money to pay for a roads plan. And that's simply wrong.
Final question. The buck stops at the governor's desk. What's your message to the governor and or the legislature or all the above?
There's no reason we can't get a budget done right now, and we need everybody involved, and that includes the governor, that includes Speaker Hall, and that includes Majority Leader Brinks in the Senate, to sit down and say enough is enough here. We can disagree about road funding. We can disagree about any of the other budgets of state government, but we have to do what's right for kids here. I do believe that there used to be a line in the sand that we can inject partisan politics into just about anything, but we used to leave kids out of that. We used to at least say, well, let's get them the basic funding and support that we know they need. And yet here we are in September, schools are open, there is no budget. So to the governor, to the speaker, to the majority leader, we need a budget, we need it now, and we need you all in a room making sure that it gets done immediately.
Robert McCaan, Executive Director of the K-12 Alliance of Michigan. Thanks for joining us today on Spotlight. Will you keep us posted on how those budget negotiations go?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Chuck.
It's our pleasure. Thanks for joining us from Lansing. When we come back, we'll sit down with the leader of Macomb County. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Mr. County Executive, thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Chuck. Appreciate you having me.
All right, let's start off with what has been making a lot of really good positive news, and that is the Defense Coalition. The official name is the Detroit Regional Defense Coalition. That comes out of the big news that everybody was paying attention to when the president came in, and you had the governor and you had yourself and many other big wigs there about the big planes coming in.
The F-15s. Yeah, no, it's exciting. I'm going to tell you, we have come a long way. And I say that because we've, this has been grounds that we've established, for decades. Yet we didn't talk much about it. We didn't really promote what we had here when it comes to the defense industry, and even Selfridge Air Base, as an air installation for our nation's defense. And so, getting directly to what you're talking about, this Detroit Regional Coalition that we have here for defense, I'm going to tell you, it's been somewhat of a labor of love, but one that, I've worked on since Snyder, Governor Snyder was in office. We realized what we had here.
That goes back a long way.
And you think about it. I mean, what a sense of pride. We make things that protect those who protect us, but nowhere else in the country do they do it as well as we do here in Southeast Michigan. Mm-hmm. And in the city of Warren and Sterling Heights, that cluster of assets we have, that corridor we have, is unrivaled. But yet, when I first got in office, I come to the realization, this is something Huntsville, Alabama, and others are trying to replicate. And they were attempting to try to figure out, how did they get TACOM?
They wanted what we had.
They did. Yeah. And so we were kind of not really paying much attention to that, but they certainly were. And so I went to Snyder at that time and said, hey, the Michigan, the MEDC, Defense Center, can we move that down to the cluster of assets and work on a protect and grow strategy? He immediately supported that, and we started getting to work on that. And I'm going to tell you, all of those that were in the industry that understood it, economic development folks came together. And today, where we're at today with this announcement here, we have come so far that we're no longer worrying about the protection part of it. We're going to see that continuous growth. And again, we get more contracts awarded to Macomb County and Southeast Michigan than anywhere else in the country with defense-related work. I just got back from Boeing. Mm-hmm. I know those F-15s are coming to Selfridge Air Base. That's a $2.1 billion investment that we otherwise wouldn't have had just for the 21 planes, $2.1 billion. So being at Boeing and talking to those folks down there, they're telling us we have suppliers here in Macomb County alone that do $1 billion worth of work for Boeing. And so, that's annually. That is absolutely remarkable when you stop and think about, the number of jobs and the amount of money just for one company that we bring to the table.
And the refuelers are also a part of this, correct?
That's amazing. I mean, yes, there are no other installation that has got as much attention as Selfridge Air Base has with that. So yes, we're going to see the replacement of the KCs. There are going to be the KC-46s coming in. There's 12 of those, replacing the 8 that are going to be leaving, as well as the 21 F-15 fighter jets that are coming here, brand new EXs. And again, a lot of work being done at the base right now, talking to the generals. There's going to be about $1 billion worth of work preparing that site for the actual arrival of the KC-46s and the F-15s.
You've had to deal with Democratic leadership during this, Republican leadership during this, because it's been over such a long span of time. But is this kind of a perfect example of how politics should work? Whether you're a Republican or you're a Democrat, if it's something that's good for this state and good for this region, everyone comes together, puts the politics aside, and gets it done.
Yeah, I'm confident we're no longer going to have to worry about base realignment and closure for Selfridge Air Base, which we always talk about. And to your point, interesting enough, back when there was President Trump was in office, we had Snyder in office. There was an effort to try to figure out, how do we solve this? How do we get those F-15s? How do we get the replacement for that fighter mission? We got nowhere. There was nothing on that. There was nothing that came our way. And then you had Biden administration along with the governor, who were Democrats, and we attempted to try to get that attention drawn to it and brought here. Never, it just wouldn't happen. And so probably the most unlikely of events happened, where you have President Trump and Governor Whitmer coming together, making an announcement at Selfridge Air National Guard Base that we're getting 21 F-15s. That was one of the most exciting moments I think I've been involved with over the last 15 years as county executive, and seeing it from the political perspective, kind of like what you mentioned. You had a strong Republican personality, a strong Democratic personality, both coming together, saying, you know what, we're doing something not on behalf of the party as the governor or the party as the president. We're doing this on behalf of the people, and what is the right thing to do for Selfridge Air National Guard Base on behalf of our nation's defense. I credit both of them for setting the politics aside and doing what was right for this country and for the state of Michigan.
All right, we need to take a quick little pause for a cause. We'll come back and talk about something that maybe is a little harder to get done, and that's a road funding plan. We'll be right back with the county executive right after this. Mr. County Executive, if I said to you, what's the #1 issue in Macomb County, what would it be?
It's roads.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, it's probably the #2 and #3 issue too. So it is roads.
And number 10 and number 20.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. All right. What are you hearing? Are you optimistic that they're going to get a budget and a road funding plan that meets long-term funding?
Yeah, to answer directly, I am optimistic something's going to happen, even if there is this shutdown, which I don't think is going to happen. But if
What
it does
makes you so optimistic? Because a lot of people looking back and saying they seem to be at horns with each other.
Yeah, and again, I know the budget's going to get it's still tangled up, and they're still trying to figure it out. But what I'm optimistic about is that they're finally, this legislature, I believe, and this governor is going to solve the elusive road funding issue at the local level. I think they're going to come up with something that's going to be substantial and sustainable road funding, as opposed to we're going to throw a couple $1 billion on a one-time hit for local road projects or bridges. This is going to be something that's going to be sustainable for a long time. From the driveway to the highway, people want the damn roads fixed. But I always say it isn't about fixing the damn roads, because there isn't a damn road or a damn bridge we can't fix if you fix the damn funding.
The governor's plan calls for more taxes. Republicans have said, no, we got enough money, we just need to reallocate it differently. Somewhere in there has to be the compromise. If there's going to be a compromise, what do you think it's going to be?
It's funny because I've been asked that before too, and again, I even supported Governor Snyder's Proposal 1, if you remember that. It was the most ill-defeated proposal, I think, in state history for any proposal that was ever on the ballot. It got annihilated, but yet I supported him because it was going to bring some more funding to roads, which is my responsibility is fixing them. And I even offered up to the legislatures of the past, put a bill together that allows the county executive of Macomb County to make the decision as to what we're going to do when it comes to funding roads. I'll make that decision and live with whatever decision people have as to whether they're going to reelect me or not, because we need to fix this problem. And so I think what you're going to find out is that continued debate and conversation back and forth on this issue is finally going to get us
when
somewhere.
they get to the wire,
you're finally going to get there. And I think what most of the public is going to be more understanding as time goes on that the legislature finally did do something, because they're going to be seeing the impact this is going to be having on local roads and bridges. And they're going to say, you know what, whatever it impacted in the meantime, they'll adjust. But we finally are fixing something people have been asking about, since I've been in office, fixing these roads.
You've got a new jail coming up there in Mount Clemens. Is that a major issue that you're also hearing from the voters of Macomb County, that they want a new jail, but they also want it in a much more contemporary way than what we currently have, whether it's mental health, all those issues that weave right into that issue?
Yeah, probably the second issue I hear all the time is mental health, substance use. That's what the focus of this is to try to make sure that anybody who's arrested in Macomb County by any law enforcement agency, the minute they're brought in 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. They're coming to a central location. We're going to have the staff there that understands how to take a look at somebody and assess some mental health, substance use, and determine where they need to be within the facility. But even as they're exiting the facility, because the judges aren't going to, they say, you know what, we're not going to keep you in the jail. We're going to put somebody else. We're going to have the handoff of the people that are experts in that area to understand how to deal with them based upon that assessment.
Has Mayor Duggan jumping into this governor's race as an independent complicated the race for your party, Democrats?
I don't know. I tend to not look at it, and when people say it's my party, I never look at partisan issues. I don't, the Democrat, Republican.
But you're a Democrat, right?
It's interesting. I guess I am, but when you talk to some people that are hardcore Democrats, I'm not a good Democrat. Whatever that means. I don't know what it means. So today I really don't understand what the far right or far left is really talking about. Being an independent is still a party. The reality is, how do you get in office and put aside all these issues and quit talking about Democrat, Republican, or independent, and just start figuring out how do you come together to solve problems. And I'm gonna be honest, I think that's what we're doing in Macomb County. I deal with Candace Miller all the time on issues dealing with the underground. I deal with Tony Forlini on the clerk's office. We don't talk about politics. We don't talk about Democrat, Republican. We talk about what are the issues and how do we solve those. We need more of that. But the leadership, whether you're an executive, whether you're the governor or the president, the minute you take office, I think it's incumbent upon them to stop talking about us versus them. But they tend to fuel that fire, and that's what's creating this problem, even at a legislative level.
Mr. County Executive, have you ruled out jumping into that race?
Yeah, I don't believe I'm going to go down that path. I think it's going to be difficult for me to get through a primary for that very reason. The Democrats are looking for a far left candidate or somebody who can kind of lean into that direction. I never profess to do that. I just want to go forward, try to figure out how do we be pragmatic about whatever the issue is, and try to figure out how do we solve it. And I've supported many Republicans as well as some Democrats as we move forward, because I realize they're going to be there trying to be part of the solution as opposed to part of the problem by supporting the party as opposed to what the people are looking to solve.
Mr. County Executive, thanks so much for coming in, and we'll definitely stay in touch with you and get you back. About 20 other issues we never got to, but we'll get to them next time around. All right, thanks so much. And we want to thank you at home for joining us. I'm Chuck Stokes. We'll be back next week with more newsmakers in the spotlight. We hope you have a great week.